what we want to do today is share with you an irrigation system that we purchased through Temu.
The joys of irrigation.
That's maybe something I would prefer to change and have a nozzle that you actually stick into the ground. Okay, maak eers toe.
Ik denk je kan het eindelijk op de camera zien.
Okay. Hello and welcome to One Step at a Time Farmstead. Join our family on our journey as we build a like-minded community while living life on our terms in accordance with our beliefs, our convictions, our desires, and above all, our faith in God and our God-given calling.
We promote a self-sufficient, self-sustaining lifestyle, especially with regard to fresh produce and fresh meat and the preservation thereof.
It is our objective to prove that this self-sufficient, sustainable, healthy, happy, and fulfilling lifestyle is possible, even in an urban setting, while adhering to various laws, rules, and regulations of our government.
Our ultimate vision and goal are to obtain and establish functional and profitable farm enterprises where we produce wholesome foods grown and raised according to our conviction in the way that God intended. In other words, organic, natural, chemical-free.
Furthermore, it is our aim to teach and train in the various principles of self-sufficiency, self-reliance, and food security. We foresee hosting, supporting, and sponsoring masterclass training workshops in accordance to our call to the ministry of God.
With your support, we know we can achieve these goals.
Basically we want to unbox it today and then test it. Just share our thoughts on it with you. Basically the reason why we got this is I've had a bit of a mishap on my garden in the beginning of the season because we were caught in a drought in our spring season when it was supposed for our rainy season to start. I'm usually a person that don't like irrigation systems. I prefer to work with the seasons, but we had so much failure in the garden because going out to water your garden, especially during the germination time, and you forget, and especially with the heat that we had, we lost so many of our seedlings that germinated when we sowed from seed because I was a bit negligent in my duties. So nobody to blame except myself, but also because of the water restrictions. The Val Dam, the dam that basically supplies our area of water, was also at 18% at a point before the rain actually started. That also made me think about getting an irrigation system, just, how can I say, to keep your garden alive, for the times that the rain is very unpredictable. Also, the second half of the story with my garden is when the rain actually arrived, we received a lot of rain. It's wonderful that God bless us with, the rain as well. And yeah, fortunately, the last time I checked, we were up to in the 30%, with the dam being over 30% full. My tomatoes basically burst open, and the tomato plants also got, their diseases that, what's it called, blight, or some mildewy illness, disease that my tomato plants got, and Lucian and I had to rip out all the tomato plants. But on the other hand as well, with the storms, the tomato plants got so damaged, and luckily I had a few seedlings ready, and then it was the heat. So yeah, basically the early tomatoes, although we got quite a few fruit that we did harvest, it wasn't the best. With the storms, the tomato plants got damaged, and stems broke, and of course I didn't trellis it properly. It's our first season here, and as Murphy's Law goes, anything that goes wrong will go wrong, but we learn from it. And also I was so preoccupied with other things, with the market sales, Christmas market over December, and preparing for that, at the end of the day I was a bit negligent in the garden, so I do take the blame of that as well. But like I said, we've got some seed in the ground now. We've got some seedlings also in the garden. Removed the diseased tomato plants, and we have others growing in there now. And in the other raised bed, we've made that our sweet corn bed, and actually looking quite looking forward to that. Although Daniel doesn't eat sweet corn, Lucian
loves it.
Yeah, Lucian and I love it. So, and at least that's something to actually get the soil alive and going. And although I don't think this irrigation system, because it's a mist irrigation system, although they do say that you can use it as a drip irrigation as well, so we'll just have to check it out. But with it misting, it won't be beneficial to tomato plants, because that's how tomatoes pick up the disease. If there's a lot of moisture on the leaves and humidity, that's when the blight and mildew and everything takes over the plant. But on the other hand, for germinating your seeds, and that's basically the main reason why we decided to get an irrigation system, is to keep that top part, that first couple of centimeters, inch or two, to keep that moist so that your seed can germinate and you can actually set yourself up for success rather than for failure. I do have to say that I still need to get a timer on the system if I want to do it that way, because I am sometimes forgetful. But because I'm forgetful, my beautiful wife made me a daily to-do list, and on that list is early morning duties to check on the garden, and also late afternoon. So, yeah, working with a checklist, if you are as absent-minded as I am, a checklist helps a lot, and thank you, wifey. Thanks, Daniel, for setting that up, and that will also remind me to, and I'll also put a reminder on my phone calendar as well, or, you know, just to remind me to, you know, switch it on for an hour in the morning, early morning, or an hour in the late afternoon when the sun isn't that hot. Yeah, and it's actually my first time, or our first time, that we are going to try an irrigation system. Here we are at the garden, and we are going to quickly measure out this piece. I think the first thing I need to do is just measure the length of the garden bed. 3 meters 600 divided by 600.
So 36 divided by 6 is 6.
Okay. So I should then use about 5. So I'm going to start about a foot from this end. And this is where the end of the irrigation system, that last, you know, the end piece. No, this isn't the end piece. There's one.
That one.
So this one will be at the end. But if I leave it on the line, it will be like this, which is what I don't want. I want it to be upright. So I'm just going to take this piece of tube that I can then tie to, you know, this stake. Just want to find a nice spot for it, and I can just zip tie it to that stake. And then basically every 2 feet or 600 millimeters, I want an additional sprayer head. I have to say, comparing prices, you can also, sorry, that's just another thing. This irrigation system you can also use as a, I don't know how to express it, but there's a lot of restaurants which have outdoor seating that basically use a mist system like this just to cool down the area. And so you've got these sprinklers above you, and you don't get wet, but it does cool down, you know, your area. And also very popular, you know, to have it under pergolas. If you've got like an outside fire pit or barbecue area, or just a place where you sit and relax and chat to your friends and family, as a misting system just to cool the area down. So that is another function of this. Okay, what thought took me to that?
It also keeps cockroaches away.
Okay, I don't know what I was trying to say, but yeah, the thought that came up is that you can also use it as a misting cooling. So yeah, that's the other thing, to keep the plants or area cooler during the heat of the sun during the day. So I might, you know, for just a little while, switch it on during the heat of the day as well, just to keep some of your gardens a bit cooler. Like I said, obviously not beneficial for tomatoes or other vegetation that doesn't like a lot of humidity or moisture. But again, then it can be very beneficial for other things like your leafy greens, your salads, spinach, flowers. Flowers love the mist sprinkling system. That's what I've read.
We'll try
Not that I'm a very flowery person, but yeah, just some of the applications where you can use it. So we basically just want to unpackage this delivery and with you and basically see what we got.
Can I unpackage it?
No, mommy is.
Okay.
No, this bag is not at work. Okay, so this is the original packaging it comes in from Temu. No box, like this.
It's not unboxing, it's unbagging.
It's unbagging. Okay, but the cost of this was 114 Rand.
That was the thought I was trying to get to.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, now carry on.
Okay, so this one was 114 Rand. A lot cheaper than other irrigation systems that we've seen, pricing anything from 1,000 Rand up.
Yeah, we were actually, if I can interrupt Anil, sorry babes. That's why I mentioned, the misting systems, for the areas to cool down at the restaurants. We actually checked for something with the previous house, to have that in our entertainment barbecue area, because it was paved or tiled, actually open, so a lot of sunlight, but it was on a veranda,
Yeah.
or stoep, as you say in Afrikaans or in South Africa, and that area obviously got very hot. It's brick walls around you, it's a built-in braai or fireplace, and then bricks and hot tiles that bake very hot in the sun. So we basically wanted to set up a system like that just to keep the area cool, especially during our, the heat of summer, December, January. And the system we could find at our local hardware store was 2,500 Rand. I don't know how much that is in American dollar. 25 cents. No, it's about
100.
okay, she'll check it up. But anyway, so at the end of the day, this cost us less than 5% from what we would have paid at our local hardware store.
$135.
Yeah, and buying this, importing this from Temu, $135. That, the store one would have cost us.
Yeah.
Basically 2,500 Rand. And we got this one through Temu for 114 Rand, which is less than 5%. So, yeah, it's it's a huge margin, and for something that they claim does the same thing or can do the same thing, I'm quite interested to give this a try.
Yeah.
So hopefully value for money, but yeah, we'll see as we test it.
Okay, so this is a 10-meter irrigation kit.
Okay.
It's a bit taller than our house or something.
Okay,
A lot taller than the house. The house is about 3 meters tall.
wire.
Okay, so yeah, it's a 10-meter tube. Okay, I actually have to be honest. I did peek in the package and just fitted one of the spray nozzles on the one side, and then the
Hose
connector coupler on the other side.
Oh,
So I'm so sorry, but I was curious. Okay, so basically, yeah, this will typically fit to your faucet or tap, as it's known in South Africa, or some call it a hydrant, but yeah, the outside valve. Anyway, yeah, so this will fit in there. It's got a reduction if it's a smaller faucet, or your typical 22 mil. And that will sit on your tap like that, and it will click in like that. Okay, so yeah, that's basically your hose connectors connected to the hose here. And then it came with how many of these nozzles? Thank you, Lucian.
It's another question. Like these pipes, does it go, and that tip, does it go downward and it sprays like that, or does it just goes like that and it?
Okay, that is what we will still discuss. There are supposed to be a couple of different ways how you can use it, but we'll get to that right now. Okay.
So there's 10 of these.
Plus this one.
Yeah, so 11 with it.
Okay, 11. Okay. Yeah, just to basically show you, let me use one of those. So this is your spray nozzle, and it fits on your coupler like that, and we've got a hose, one, part of the tube coming in from this side to this side, except for this one, which is a one for the end. So it only has one entering at the bottom. Lucian, can you please hand me the scissors?
Good.
I had it there on my desk. Okay, I just want to remove this one.
Here you go.
Thank you, son.
Okay. I know what new book is naughty, hey? It's finding the bigger dog.
Okay. So there are different ways. I'm just going to take a piece of this tube off here. Okay, so there's a couple of different ways according to what I figured out. Of course, unfortunately, there was no manual, no instructions, nothing that came with it. But yeah, a few different ways how you can set it up. Sorry, I just want to have another piece.
Oh.
Okay, so with this coupler, if you've got the hose feeding from this side, then we just fit it over here. Okay, I'm just going to do it loosely and quite quickly now, just so that you have an idea. So you've got your water coming in from this side, and then from that side, goes through to that side where your next sprinkler will fit. Okay, and you can either have your sprinkler like this, where it fits directly into that coupler, and have it quite low to the ground, or you can extend it by pushing this hose. Lucia, if you make a little lighter on.
Okay. And because if you light it, it like sucks the thingy that it goes tight. If I'm right.
It expands.
It expands.
Yeah.
Oh, so we've got
Okay.
it anyway, okay?
Or you can have it like that, where you make it a bit taller, and then you can support it with a stake or a metal rod that you push into the ground, and then just zip tie, cable tie it to that. Or you can have it as is. Also, these nozzles are adjustable from a fine mist spray. You can loosen it and actually have it like a drip irrigation system, or like a jet spray. So you can use it to deep water you could have it as a mist spray, or a bit of a, how can you say, a rougher spray.
Okay. So not mist.
Yeah, not mist, but more like a, what's the regte woord?
Mist, but not mist.
Dis is spray dan.
Yeah, have it like a mist or a spray, or you can have it like almost completely open, and it's like a jet, a solid stream water that you can basically, say for instance, I've got tomato is a good example, that it don't spray around the plant, but you can direct it to, like, send a stream of water directly to the tomato stem or roots, and it waters
That area.
Or you can then regulate your water flow and have it as a drip irrigation system.
Okay.
So those are the claims, and what we actually want to try and test when we set up today. So if this will work in all those different ways, I could use it in all my different garden beds, especially with the tomatoes. Maybe have it a bit suspended over a rope or a trellis, that you've got in hand, and then direct the stream of water directly to the base of the plant, and you don't have any of the leaf foliage that gets wet and basically won't attract mildew and stuff like that. So hopefully your plants won't get sick, and you water the area around the roots. But yeah, for the seedlings, I think we are going to do it in a mist, well, not really a mist, but a spray, to keep the area quite well moisturized, damp. What's the correct word? Damped, not moisturized. Moisturized is stuff that women do. Yeah, to keep your soil moist and damp. Okay, so let's... With that, you can run your water feed underground.
Yeah.
And you have this piece sticking out, and you can just take it, with a thin iron rod or a stick or
a piece of rope that is like on the top, and then you can zip
we are going to do the rope, but to support it and keep it upright like that. I prefer for now to have the tube above ground, because we are testing, and I don't know if it's going to be a permanent fixture or not. So that's what Lucian is talking about. We'll show you outside, but it's a piece of nylon string that we took and suspended it just above the garden, and where we will then support the tube on with the cable ties that also came with the packet. So yeah, it seems to be quite versatile, and hopefully very, yeah, and I used one there. Yeah, so it seems to be quite versatile, and hopefully it is in the way that I can actually set up my whole vegetable garden and maybe even the orchard as well on that, because I'll rather, I mean, this is cheap enough and spend quality money on a timer that we can actually have and set, you know, the different sections, and, you know, let technology water my garden instead of my brain trying to remember. Yeah, so let's move outside and quickly see, you know, if we can set it up in a way that will benefit us in all our gardens. So we're going to try different ways, maybe even this way as well. So they are more or less all upright, and we just want to show you the reason for the drip irrigation, or for the mist irrigation, is we've got some of our sweet corn starting to pop up. So we want to try and keep this moist without dragging the hose out every morning. There's no. Okay, so let's test it.
Another one, yay!
And there's still quite a bit of excess hose left over.
Yeah.
So if I then want to maybe put this underground and extend the tips, I'll be able to do that. Why is this upside down now again?
Oh, jy het weer die kant in die kabel gevat. The joys of irrigation.
That's maybe something I would prefer to change and have a nozzle that you actually sticking to the ground. Okay, maak eers toe. Okay, so it's not really sprinkling, but it is a mist or a jet.
Sprinkle.
Yeah,
It seems like it does wet quite a wide area. I actually could have only used one row down the middle. What do you think?
Well, you could. But, okay, so, I don't know, you can't, sorry, you really see on the camera the area it covers.
Let's see if we restrict the flow a bit. So you actually don't really need your water pressure on full power. I mean, if you look at this,
It doesn't cover the whole thing.
what did you say?
It doesn't cover the whole time, but it needs like this middle row. Yeah, I'll put the pay back.
Let's see on the book.
Any video. But there you go.
Okay, actually this would work awesome in a pergola area. I'm just concerned, okay, this is really a fine mist, but it does keep the area moist. But I'm wondering if there's a strong wind, how much of your water would be carried away.
So you can actually see more on the grass area.
Yeah.
That's wet now, that area there.
Really does wet all the way up to here.
It made quite a big difference. And the raised bed gardens also wet.
Yeah. Well, all in all, it's a success. Okay, setting the sprayer head or the nozzle is a bit, I mean, it's tight and it's tiny. My fingers get sore, so I use my teeth to try and set it. But I mean, it's strong. It's neither, you know, not one broken. We only use 4s to connect it. There's no leaks. There's no, you know, none of the connections are pulling off because of the water pressure. And I mean, it's quite a bit of water pressure here. So it seems quite rugged and sturdy. I'm just wondering, with the sunlight and your pipe expanding and contracting, if the nozzles will stay upright. So I think every now and then we will just have to come out and adjust the nozzles again, like these two. Just to make sure that they stay upright. But I mean, that hose was also curled up in that packet for so long. So I think as soon as the pipes, you know, de-stresses, basically, and settles, the sprinklers would stay upright. But I think having a stake in the ground where you keep it still, like that one, would have been a bit more reliable. So that's my one preference. But I mean, nothing keeps me from putting a dowel stick in here and supporting it like I did with that one. Okay, and on the jet setting, it does so as you can see, there's quite a bit of pressure.
Quite full. Like peppers and jalapenos.
Now see, it stays a mist until it's a jet. So there's no in between with the jet and the mist, basically. See, it's either mist or it's a jet. But then again, having this, and you point it to the root of your plant, it would work for tomatoes as well. So I really can't complain.
Oh, so I think in general, for the price we paid, it does what it's supposed to do.
But I think also as soon as we have that pergola up and built eventually, when we've got the pergola, to have it, you know what it would be awesome for as well?
Yeah.
That aeroponics system
Oh,
gave me.
Yeah.
With this mist system and a pump. But I mean, you only need one of these. But anyway, yeah, for cooling down under the pergola, But I think for germination, this would work. I won't use it like this under tomatoes or squashes or stuff like that, but then I'll rather use the jet setting. And by the fruit trees as well. They have a system like this up to water the fruit trees, not on a mist setting, but on the jet setting.
Jet setting.
I mean, it can simplify watering the garden for us.
Yeah.
So I think we can order another 5, 6, 7.
Yeah. And it would
With
still
time.
work out cheaper than buying one here by us.
I mean, it's really less than 5%. Okay. I would actually have preferred if there was a sprinkle, not mist, but sprinkling spraying setting between the two. I don't know if I'm just too rough. No, it's still this. Okay, this is the closest I get it between a jet and a mist. But then you actually have a lot of water leaking from the...
I don't know if they can see it. Oh, like there you go. No, they
If
can
I go
see.
any further, it's a jet. Oops. And there's the mist.
The mist.
Okay, but at least let's see how, for this time now, how deep it is. Actually quite watered it already quite deep. There you can see it's actually, it's about a, wait for about 1.5 centimeters. And then a bit drier. Yeah, sorry, there's a lot of building rubble inside this bed. Because I ran out of compost. I've got compost underneath. But then I just use normal dirt over it to fill the rest of the garden. So yeah, there's some rubble and rocks and stuff. Unfortunately, this didn't come with a timer, but I think having this on a timer would be perfect. For now, I've got my to-do list and my phone to remind me, so I'll set my phone as well until I can invest in a timer. But I think I'll invest in a proper timer when we've, got the nozzles, or well, the system for that bed, that bed, that bed. Or at least it should be able to do different zones. Because the orchard, one day, whenever the fencing is finished and we've got our vines running the fence, that's another day.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, your tomatoes you would want to flood, irrigate basically with the jets, and that's a lot of water, less often, once or twice a week.
Yeah.
Your greens again with like more regular water, like every second day or every third day, if we plan to go ahead and try and get a market garden going. For now, this is just for our own use, and the excess, yeah, it also goes to Opidor, our Opidor Home Industries Initiative. But for now it's good, and thankfully the sun is busy setting. It was a hard day. Okay, so the battery is almost done. I'm going to cut this video here for now. Have it on charge, and then we'll film the closing, our final thoughts and stuff like that.